Yo, what up? Coach D here. Okay, so it's going to be Coach D. I am Damon, and I'm going to be bringing you the heat. So today's topic of the conversation, this is really what we're going to be doing on this podcast, just so you guys understand some things. And I want to clarify some things before we get started, because some of you, this may be your first time actually tuning in to some Coach D. Okay? So there's some things that you need to understand when it comes to me, which I'll discuss in a little bit, but I'm going to tell you what to expect in this, and then we're going to talk about my fat story, okay? Because when I'm talking about anything, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you through this podcast, I have been there myself. So I'm speaking from experience, okay? And I've been doing this a really, really long time, and I feel that at the root of everything that you want out of life is you and your fitness and your inner world, right? When you master this, you can master everything else, right? So a lot of my stuff is going to be really raw, really brash, and really in your face, because that's just my fucking style. And if you don't like it, then you can fucking leave. This is my channel. This is my show. So I'm going to do it the way I want to, okay? Because this is who I truly am, right? So here's what you guys need to expect, all right? So when it comes to, actually, first off, let me back up, okay? So for those of you guys that may not know who I am, okay, let me give you a quick little story of who I am, okay? I am originally from Houston, Texas, okay? Grew up in poverty, super, super poor, right? I'm the little kid that came out of poverty and built an empire, right? So now I currently live in California. I'm actually in my gym right now, okay? But I am an author, gym owner, a former physique competitor. I've done like 12 shows, competed nationally. I used to be in the Marine Corps. That's actually how I got from Texas to California, was from the Marine Corps, right? So a lot of what you're going to hear through me too, and a lot of the discipline that I have developed come from that, right? It's all teachable. It's all trainable. All of you could have discipline. Okay, it's just like a muscle. You got to work that shit, right? And on top of all that, I'm a husband and a father of 4. Okay, now I have also, in case you guys have, for those of you guys that are new, I've also written a couple books, right? I've got this whole thing of getting ripped and shredded, right? I got it down to a system, okay? Down to a system, okay? Down to a system, right? Step by step. All you got to do is just follow the plan and execute. And a lot of the stuff that's in the books, I'm going to be teaching you on this podcast for free 99, baby. For free 99, all right? So when it comes to a lot of the things that I'm going to be teaching you, understand this. We're going to be talking about health and fitness, okay? We're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to talk about nutrition. We're going to be talking about relationships. We're going to be talking about fucking sex, okay? We're going to be talking about some business stuff, right? Because at the root of everything that I'm trying to teach you when it comes to mastering that inner you is so that way you can master all these other areas of your life. So that way you become what I call exceptional. Okay, I want you to be exceptional human beings. Okay, exceptional. Okay, which means not fucking average. Okay, not fucking average. Because average is fucking fat. Average is obese. Average is broke. Okay, being average is the worst fucking thing you can be. All right, so I am here to make you exceptional. That's what this whole fucking show is about. Is to make you exceptional. Right? And if you haven't already seen from what I'm saying right here, I'm going to be dropping F-bombs. I'm going to be really in your face. I'm going to be talking a lot of shit. Okay? And everything that I'm going to be telling you is the fucking truth. Okay? It's the truth. I'm always going to be telling you the honest, hurtful truth. Not to hurt your feelings, but basically to deliver the message in a way that it triggers something within you. It's kind of like shock content. It's going to trigger something in you that makes you more aware, that makes you start making fucking changes. So you stop being fucking average. Okay? Because I fucking hate that shit. All right? So the little poor kid can come from the fucking hood and come to one of the most affluent areas in the world and build a business there and an empire there. You can fucking do it too. Okay. And everything that I'm speaking from is coming from experience. Like I said a minute ago, I've been fat. Okay. Been broke. Okay. Been broken mentally and emotionally. Okay. And a lot of that shit that I'm going to be teaching you is going to be on this podcast. Right. And another thing that I'm going to be teaching you guys too, and I'm going to be talking about a lot on some of the podcasts too, is about you healing emotionally. Okay. Because a lot of you are really fucked up emotionally, and that's what's affecting a lot of your decisions. You look at a lot of the decisions that you make, the bad decisions that you make, it's always driven by emotion. So you got to learn how to heal, right? And this is something that I just recently learned just within the past 2 years, and it's fucking changed my life. So I'm teaching everybody this shit because as men, we are not taught this shit, okay? So it's something that I'm going to be teaching you constantly, okay? And the other side of this too, this podcast is primarily more driven towards men because, as you can tell, it's very, very direct, very, very brash, right? And I make no apologies for who I am, okay? I'm not going to reduce my standards to fit you, you know, because I hear a lot of people, and this usually comes from females, right? I hear a lot of people that are always like, you know, if you just delivered your message nicer, right, you'd reach more people. Right? And I'm like, first off, fuck you. Okay? Because that ain't me. Right? I'm on a whole nother fucking level. Okay? But as you've been listening to this podcast for a little while, you're going to be on a whole nother fucking level. And you are going to start to see all these behaviors and things that I'm speaking of that you used to have that people currently have. Okay? Now you got to understand something. Everything that I'm saying is coming from, really, it's coming from love. I fucking love people, man. I love people. So even though sometimes when I'm talking to you, it may sound like I fucking hate you, right? Like I don't like you. Like I'm talking down to you maybe sometimes. And sometimes I am intentionally because you need to fucking hear the truth, right? Now, I'm gonna fucking say this right now. So I forgot where I was going with that whole point, but it's going to be geared towards men primarily because you guys can pretty much handle it, right? And one of the big things that I'm trying to change with this and just in general with my mission as a fucking coach, right, is to change the direction of this nation, right, and to change men. Because men today, I'll be real with you, you're fucking weak. You're weak. Okay? You're weak, and it's sad. And the direction of this nation and where it is currently now, it's fucking sad. Like men today are just fucking weak, and it drives me crazy because as a man, you should be ripped, fucking strong, wealthy, a provider, a protector, a fucking alpha. You should be able to take care of your family, protect and provide. You should be able to take care and lead your communities, right? And most you motherfuckers can't even lead yourself, right? You're fucking fat. You're fucking broke. You're failing in the areas that you put the most time into every day. Yourself, right? So my mission is to change that shit and make you guys fucking men. Make you fucking strong. Make you ripped. Make you fucking rich. Because one of the things that you're going to understand when you master this world within, because this entire journey of getting fit, this entire thing that we're talking about mastering this inner world, right? It's psychological. Right? This is all psychological shit, right? And you have to become a completely different person. Right now, you're weak. You're going to have to become a different person. You're going to have to become stronger, harder. You're going to have to become more disciplined. Do you understand what I'm saying? So understand this. So for those of you that are saying like, you know, if you just speak better. Okay, let me people who say this, okay? The people who say shit like that, try and tell me that I need to reduce my standards and change the way that I deliver my messages to reach more people. First off, I don't want to reach everybody. Okay? You don't like my message? You don't like my delivery? You're not my people. I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to the strong ones. Okay? So that's first off. Secondly, the same people who say shit like that, they're like, if you just delivered your message better, you reach more people. Really? How many followers you got? How many lives have you changed? How much money are you making? So if I'm nicer, do I get to have your body? Okay? I don't want your fucking body. Okay. First off, you have no following. Okay. Second off, third off, you're broke. So why would I want to be like you? Understand what I'm saying? so I'm in a different tax bracket for one. Okay. Number two, I stay sexy year round. Okay. So I'm going to keep doing me, right? Maybe if you started changing the way that you thought, started to treat yourself differently, you'd get a different result. You'd be fucking better, right? And that's what this is really all about. Making you fucking better, but not just better, exceptional. That's what I want. I want you to be exceptional. Okay. So like I was saying, it's mainly geared towards men, but I have found, even whenever I wrote these books, man, what happened was that I noticed that when I wrote that first book, which is why I ended up writing the second book, right, which was for women, I find that the majority of the people who are probably going to tune into this podcast, right, the majority of people who follow me on social media handles tend to be female, right? So, but it's geared primarily for men. I will have some stuff in here for women as well too, because there's some things that you, as women, you need to understand about your man. And I'm going to give you the inside scoop and teach you some shit. Okay. So you can stay tuned for that. We're not going to be talking about that today. So just giving you a warning. If you can't handle the fucking straight talk and somebody in your face telling you the truth, the raw truth, and nothing but the truth, you don't belong here. Okay. Just stop watching. Just stop watching. Just go somewhere else. Go to somebody else's podcast. It's going to blow some smoke up your ass. Because I'm not going to blow some smoke up your ass. Okay. I'm going to be the one that's going to tell you you're fucking up. This is why you're fucking up. But this is how you can fix it. So that way you can be the baddest, best motherfucker that you know. That's what this is all about. Okay. So, and like I was saying, I ain't making no apologies. Okay. So if you can't handle the way that I speak, I'm sorry that you're a pussy. So, okay. So let me go back to my show notes here to see what's going on. Okay. So let me tell you guys a little story. Okay. Cause a lot of you guys don't know this, but, I used to be fat. Okay. And it was a very, very brief period. And when I'm talking to you guys about your fat, and I'm going to call you fat all the time. Okay. I'm going to call you fat. And like I said a minute ago, I love you, but I don't like your fucking behaviors. I love you, but I don't like your habits. You are not your habits. You are not your behaviors. Okay. You change those, you become a different person. All right. So understand that. So I'm going to be calling you fat a lot. Right. But if you're sexy, I'm going to be calling you sexy too. Right. If you're ripped, I'll be calling you ripped. Right. But if you're fat, face it, you're fat. And how do you know you're fat? Men, this is how it goes. This is how it goes. In my opinion, if you don't have visible abs, you're fat. Okay. Even if you're scrawny, you're skinny fat. Okay. So I believe every man should have abs. And if you don't have abs, that's proof you're weak. Straight up. You're weak. You're weak mentally. You're weak emotionally. You can't control yourself around food. Okay? Which basically makes you have high body fat levels. It makes you fucking fat. Right? Well, I'm going to change that. All you got to do is just fucking apply what I teach you. Understood? Yes or yes? Excellent. Okay. So let's go back to my fat story. So my fat story. So I used to ride motocross, right? Years ago. This is years ago. And this is actually after I got out of the Marine Corps. Okay. I've always been very, 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 very fit. Not really like fit, like aesthetically looking, but I've always played sports. I always worked out. I've always had like this passion and desire for fitness. Speaking of that, by the way, let me give props to my Uncle Jim. Okay. While we're on here, because he's probably going to tune into this too. For those of you guys that have been following me for a while, you know who Uncle Jim is. But I grew up fatherless, all right? And the only male role models I had in my life growing up were my grandfather, who was a Marine, and my uncle, who was a Marine. Okay, so I'm third generation. And my Uncle Jim is the one that actually introduced me to working out, right? And lifting weights. And when the first time he gave me a barbell and I started doing some bicep curls, man, I just fell in love. Just fell in love with the whole fitness thing, right? And And then so I was a very very active child. I played a lot of sports and things like that. I wrestled, ran track, played football, all those things. Right. I've always had a passion for fitness. Fast forward, get out of the Marine Corps, and riding dirt bikes. And at that time in my life, I wanted to be a professional freestyle motocross rider. You know, the ones that like they jump the ramps and they do the backflips and the things like that. That was actually like my dream at that time in my life. Right. That's what I wanted to do. And I was practicing this new jump one day, right? Practicing this new jump. You riders know what I'm talking about. You know that sound. Anyway, I hit this new jump. It was a bigger distance than I was used to, and I wasn't comfortable enough to really do tricks yet because the distance was so big. It was a new gap for me, right? And I wasn't feeling very confident with it yet. So I was just hitting it over and over and over again, trying to get comfortable and trying to get the speed and everything just right before I was going to do any tricks. And on one of my landings, I had a bad landing, crash, bang, and I broke my leg. Okay, now this time of my life, I used to live off of fast food. Okay, like literally lived off fast food, guys. Like I'm talking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Lived off fast food. Okay, I know it's hard for you guys to believe because I'm such a food Nazi these days, and I never have cheat meals ever. Like I haven't had a cheat meal since 2012, which is a whole nother story in itself, and I'll tell you what happened back then in another episode. But back then I used to live off trash, right? Because I didn't really know anything about nutrition back then. And anyway, so I crash, break my leg, okay? And I broke both bones, okay? You can actually see the scar right here. See that scar right there? I got a plate right here, and I got 2 giant screws on this side, right? So I broke my leg, right? Both bones, my lower leg, right? My foot basically did a 180, right? So I had to have my leg put back together with a plate and 9 screws to put it back together. And what happened was I continued eating the same way, right? And which was basically like a 10,000 calorie a day diet from pure fucking fast food. And I'm a little dude, right? I'm only 5'6". Okay, I typically walk around about 150, 155, right? And even back then, I was probably about a little bit lighter than I am now. But I could put down some food, okay? But I was always really, really active, so I was never fat, but I never really like had abs though. So I was just like, I looked fine, right? But I wasn't lean, right? And so anyway, so I break my leg, right? But I continued eating all the garbage, but I wasn't moving, right? Because after my surgery, they basically were like, you just need to like lay down all day, foot elevated, and just watch TV. Like, don't do anything. You can't work out, you can't do anything, right? So I literally was eating the same 10,000 calorie a day diet, but wasn't moving. Right. And at that time in my life, I used to ride for 2-3 hours a day, which is very, 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 very physical. I mean, that shit's like a workout. Okay. If you've never ridden a dirt bike before, like it's very physical. Right. And on top of that, I used to go to the gym too. Right. Because I love working out. And so anyway, so I'm eating 10,000 calories a day. And now I'm laid up on the couch and I don't move. Now, if you know anything about fat loss, okay, the way that you gain body fat, okay, so every one of you listening, this is how you got fat. Okay. This is why you're fat right now. It's real simple. You fucking overeat. Okay. Anytime you consume more calories than your body expends for the day, all the excess gets stored. Okay. So I'm laid up on the couch, right? Probably only burning like 1,600 calories a day, just my basal metabolic rate just to sustain life. Right. And, I'm eating 10,000, right? I got so fat. So damn fast, okay? And in my head, I'm thinking like, I don't care, no big deal. And even back then, I didn't even understand like how you got fat. I just knew that like I wasn't working out, right? And in my head, that was why I was getting fat, because I wasn't working out. And technically it was true, because I wasn't putting out any calories, right? I wasn't expending any calories. And so anyways, in my head, I'm thinking, as soon as I get clearance, I'm going to go run, and I'm going to hit the gym and blah, blah, I'm going to get this fucking fat off. And my girlfriend at the time, and she did me a favor, really. My girlfriend at the time, she was calling me Buddha. Okay. Cause I was starting to get this belly, right? Which I had never had before. Right. So I started getting this belly. Right. And she's calling me Buddha. And, I noticed that I'm starting to get like anxiety, right? I'm starting to get depressed, right? And I'm like, this is so fucking weird, man. I've never felt like this before in my life. Like, man, is this what it's like for people who are fat? Like, this sucks. And so it started making me like really, really insecure, right? So then I'm not taking my shirt off in front of her, right? Like whenever I go take a shower, I would like go close the door and I'd do everything in the bathroom where she couldn't see me, and I was noticing that I was having insecurities that I had never had before, right? Because I'd always been very, very active. So I'd always been in, fairly decent shape, right? And my confidence levels just plummeting, man. My self-esteem plummeting, right? Everything was just going downhill. And I'm like, dude, this fucking fat shit sucks, right? But in my head, I'm still thinking like, I'll just, after week 13, I'm gonna start running and I'm gonna start doing all this stuff. I'm gonna hit the gym again. I'm gonna get this fat off, right? About week 10, okay, this is where I had my breaking point. And this is literally how we fucking ended up here today, okay? This one moment changed my life forever. And this is how I became a trainer, how I became a coach, how I became obsessed about nutrition, and how I learned how to burn off body fat and master that shit, which is all the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you, right? So this one moment, so I'm sitting in the shower, and I can't stand because my leg, so I'm sitting in the shower, right? And the fat on my stomach, right? Because I have a belly now. The fat on my stomach touched my thigh, okay? And I could feel my skin on my stomach touch my thigh. And it freaked me the fuck out, okay? Freaked me the fuck out, okay? So I was like, what the fuck? Oh, hell no. And then I literally got out of the shower, grabbed my crutches, drove to the fucking gym, okay? And literally set my crutches down and would hop around the gym, do all the different machines, all the different benches, all the different stuff, right? And that was basically my breaking moment, because in my head I'm thinking like, there's no fucking way. I refuse to be fucking fat. I'm not going to be one of these people that gets fat and stays fucking fat forever. Like, no, that's not going to be me, okay? Because I have more respect for myself than that, and I'm going to be better than that, right? And that was my fat story moment. Right? It's a very, very brief part of my mind, or brief part of my life. And I say this because a lot of the feelings that I was feeling back then, with me just, the insecurities that were kicking in, the self-esteem, my confidence just disappearing. I was starting to get, anxiety and depression. And now knowing what I do about nutrition now, anxiety and depression are diet related things too, right? It's coming from the inflammation, from the damage happening to your gut, right? So you probably haven't heard that before. We'll talk about that in another episode too, because gut health is very, very important. But that's my fat story, right? So when it comes to a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you, understand that I've been there, even though it was a very, very brief moment, right? And I fixed that shit. And you can fix that shit too. And I'm going to tell you something that you guys got to understand, okay? The world treats you differently when you are fit. Did you hear what I said? The world treats you differently. And a lot of you guys don't realize this because a lot of you guys have been fat your whole lives. A lot of you guys never had a six-pack. Okay? The world treats you differently. And think about it from a logical standpoint. You are instantly respected when somebody sees you when you're fit. Instantly. You walk into a room, it's instantly, on a subconscious level, they respect you more. Instantly, you become more attractive to females. Okay? Instantly. And gay guys. You know, by gay guys quite often, okay? Which is like the ultimate compliment, right? So, but anyway, people treat you differently. The world treats you differently. And think about it like this. Let's say you want to do business with somebody, right? You have two people. They have equivalent businesses, right? They have equivalent education. They have, everything is equal. But the difference is one's obese and one's fit as fuck. Which one do you think is going to get the job done better? Which one do you think you're going to trust? Which one do you think that you're going to respect more? Which one do you think you may even pay more money to hire? Because just by the way he looks, He's got discipline. He's got ambition, right? He's got belief in himself, right? He gets shit done. He does what he says he's going to do, right? See what I'm saying? And the statistics and studies even prove that fit people make way more money than unfit people, okay? By almost double, okay? So this is a for real thing, right? And on top of that too, when it comes to making more money and things like that too, when you feel good about yourself, right, you perform better. Whenever you are healthier, you have more energy. You can be more productive, right? When you have high confidence and high self-esteem, what happens? You take those bigger risks. You believe in yourself. You think you can do things. You think you can close those sales. You think you can make those business decisions. You believe in yourself, right? This is actually why I made the title of my first book is called The Shredded Executive, right? The reason is because when I learned years ago that, and it makes perfect sense. Like I was just telling you the reasons why. It makes perfect sense because when you think about it, who you have to become in order for you to get fit, okay? You have to become a completely different person. Completely, right? And the discipline that you develop, the belief in yourself, the self-confidence, right? Your higher self-esteem levels, all these things transfer to everything else in your life. Anything else that you want to accomplish, you are going to have a much better chance at and going to be much more likely to be able to succeed in that area because of what you've accomplished within, right? So I was noticing with my clients that when they got ripped, I was noticing with my clients that that they were coming to me and they were constantly like, man, I don't know what's going on, but I'm like making like double what I made last year. I'm making 4 times more than I made last year. I'm making 10x more than I made last year, right? And I was noticing a trend, and I'm like, it makes perfect sense. I mean, think about it. You got discipline, right? You got more self-confidence. You believe in yourself, right? Your self-esteem levels are higher, right? You take bigger risks. You believe in yourself. You're doing much more than you ever have. So of course you're gonna make more money. So, and the studies even prove all this. So, but so do my clients, right? I've got some super power players, that are like, billionaire level. Okay. So like crazy money. All right. So anyway, so the whole point of this podcast is to teach you a lot of things that are going to basically make you fucking exceptional. And the reason why I'm so fucking in your face is because I know your potential. I'm intense because I know your potential. And most of you, you're failing in all these areas. You're failing with your body. You're failing with the way you think. You're failing with your nutrition. You're failing in your relationships. You're failing in your income, right? And I'm trying to change that. So I'm Coach D, right? It's going to be in your fucking face, teaching you things and pushing you to become your most exceptional version of you, okay? I want you to be fucking exceptional, okay? Not good, not great, exceptional. The baddest motherfucker you know. The best motherfucker you know, okay? That's what I want from you. That's what I want you to become. And that's why I'm always going to be in your face teaching you this shit. Now, I'm going to be diving into this in a whole nother episode, but I'm going to be teaching you the science on how to actually lose body fat, right? I think I'm going to take you guys out in my gym and give you like a little whiteboard breakdown so I can give you some numbers and give you a visual, because some of you guys are going to be visual learners, right? I'm going to give you like visual, right? So that way you can actually see how to get your body to burn body fat. It's really simple, guys. But I'm going to give you a quick little, I'm going to plant this seed in your mind right now. It's really fucking simple. Remember how I was telling you a minute ago on how to lose, or how you gain fat, right? You were burning this, right? Because most of you motherfuckers ain't working out, right? So you're only burning this, but you're eating this. Because you're eating all this fucking garbage, fast food and pizza and bread and pasta and bullshit, right? Straight garbage, disrespecting your body, which is a whole nother topic right there too. Eating clean is the highest form of self-respect. If you truly loved yourself, you would only put the best shit in your body. Did you hear what I said? I'm going to repeat that. If you truly loved yourself, you would only put the best shit in your body, because the best shit is going to make you the best you. The best shit is going to make you the lean version of you. The best shit is going to make you the strong version of you. And everything that you want out of life is going to stem from what you put in your fucking mouth. Everything. You want health? Got to change your diet. You want to be ripped? Got to change your diet. You want to be strong? Got to change your diet. Okay? You want to have energy? Got to change your diet. Want to get rid of your anxiety and depression? Got to change your diet. Okay? Everything that you want when it comes to your physique and your health is going to stem from the foods you put in your mouth. And it's an area that you need to have the most discipline, because 90% of your results come from your fucking food. Yes, you heard me correctly. Okay, now let's talk about how you lose fat real quick. I'm going to plant this seed. And then in the next episode, I'm going to show you how this actually works. But it's real simple, guys. Here's how you lose fat. Okay, so remember how I told you, you gained fat from overeating, right? So you only burned this much because most of you guys ain't working out. You should be working out every motherfucking day. How many days a week? Every day of the week. Okay? So anyways, you're only burning this much, right? Because in case you guys didn't know this, your body's burning calories 24/7. Okay? And you heard me talk about this in the beginning of the episode, but it's known as your basal metabolic rate. It requires energy just to keep your body functioning. Breathing, heart rate, circulation, body temperature, brain functions, like everything requires calories, right? And if you don't consume these calories, and if everything burns calories, right? And if you don't burn off whatever it is that you consume, everything gets stored as fat, right? So my basal metabolic rate right now, let me give you an example, is about 1,700 calories a day. So if I laid on the couch and did absolutely nothing, I'm going to burn about 1,700 calories. Now, let's say I lay in bed and just watch Netflix. If I eat 1,800, I get fat. 1,900, I get fat. 2,000, I get fat. And that's not very much food, right? Fat loss is the exact opposite scenario, okay? But you want to be doing it this way. Basal metabolic rate, but you want to work out every day to get your calorie expenditure up, right? And then what you do is you limit your calorie intake, right? Creating this, what's known as a deficit, okay? It's a little gap there, right? So on a day that I work out really, really hard, I'm going to burn like 3,000, 3,500 calories, right? For the entire day, right? If I'm trying to get shredded, I'll eat about 2,100, okay? So I'm burning 35, eating 21, my body goes, damn, like, where are we going to get these extra calories from? Like, we're missing some calories. Pulls it from the body fat, okay? That's how you lose fat, okay? That's how you get ripped, guys. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's two things. Limit calories, burn calories. That's all you got to do. Every single day, okay? So that's the secret on fat loss, right? So I want to plant that seed in your minds right now so you understand that. You've heard that many, many times, probably not in the way I just described it, right? Because they always tell you, like, eat less, burn more, right? That's basically what I just said. But I just said it in a different way. You have to create the calorie deficit by eating the right foods. And the simple hack of nutrition, guys, here's the hack of nutrition, okay? Eat meat, vegetables every meal. That's it. You do that, it's going to naturally trigger hormones that make you feel full. You're going to naturally eat less, and you're going to naturally create the calorie deficit, right? As long as you're burning calories every day, you're going to drop weight like crazy, okay? Now, to get ripped, you got to really dial that in and track your macros, which is what I'm going to teach you guys too. I'm going to teach you how to track your macros and teach you how to do that stuff too, because that's very, very important, because you got to make sure you're measuring and tracking your shit so that way you're accurate, right? Because you can overeat good food and never lose an ounce, right? But for the most part, most of you, just by eating protein and vegetables, it'll naturally create the hormones that make you feel full, and you'll naturally eat less food. You'll naturally create a calorie deficit, okay? So I just wanted to plant that in your mind right now. But that was pretty much all I had for this episode. So make sure that you guys share this. Make sure you go subscribe. So I'm going to be on Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, just in case I get fucking shut down. Because if you're new here, you don't know me, I'm always dropping the truths. And when it comes to all this bullshit we've been going through the past couple years, right? I've been dropping the truth on that the entire time. I've had 6 Facebook accounts shut down, lost all of my following on Facebook and Instagram from dropping truths because of Fuckerberg. And so my current Facebook account, I'm rebuilding because I've lost 6 accounts so far. My Instagram had way bigger following. That one got deleted too. So I have a separate one that I have for that one too. So anyways, follow me on my social media handles. Just look up my name. You'll find my accounts. And make sure you subscribe to whichever one you're going to be consuming these podcasts on, whether that's Spotify, Rumble, YouTube. I'm going to be on all these platforms, but I'm also going to make sure that they're on Rumble as well too, because Rumble's not censored, right? So just in case these motherfuckers try and cancel me again, try and shut me down, I'll be on Rumble where there's actual freedom of speech. Okay? So make sure you subscribe to those so that way you get notified whenever I drop a new podcast. And because I've got an infinite amount of episodes coming up. So just right out of the gate, I've got 21 I'm recording. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them, because I'm going to be dropping some fire, I'm going to be dropping some heat, I'm going to be dropping some serious information that's really going to make you an exceptional motherfucker, because that is what it's all about. So until the next time, I'll see you next time. See you later.